to show you this necklace that goes with the earrings I showed you yesterday. And like I said in that video, these are available for sale, customized to exactly what you want. You can pick the glitter color. They don't have to be glitter. They can just be a solid color for the way that the drips look. And you can just customize it to however you want and even put your own little logo on it, which is just so cool. And the other customized element of the necklace is the length. So I have 3 different lengths in there, short, medium, and long, depending on what size fits you the best. So I hope you guys love this, and I also will make a video that will be up next week on how I molded them. So if you're interested in that process as well, come back for that one, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! So we're going to begin. I'm reusing my template for making the earrings, and I'm going to draw a line halfway through it, and then I'm going to draw a box on the bottom. So those are the extra lines that we need for making this, and then after you have that, you're going to be making 2 of the full size of the front of the bottle. That's going to be for the front and the back, but instead of making this, completely 3-dimensional where you can view it from all sides like I did for the earrings, this is going to be something that is really intended to just be viewed from the front, because as it sits on a neck, it doesn't need to have that extra height and bulkiness sticking out in a way. It can fit a little bit more flat to the skin. So these extra rectangles I'm doing here are going to be for the sides, and then you're going to need to make 2 of that bottom rectangle that I drew on the side here of so that you can have the top and the bottom of your polish bottle as well. So you need 2 fronts, or 2 of the big pieces, 2 of the length, and then 2 of the shorter ones. So then you're going to be gluing these pieces together. So we're going to start off and just make an open top or an open back piece. We're not going to glue that last one that's for the back of it yet. We're going to save that for a little while. So we're going to just glue these 4 sides onto one of those front pieces. Just glue the last one in, and then once all of these have been glued in place, just like before, like in the last video, if you watch the last video, there's going to be a lot of similarities between that one and this one, but there are definitely some significant differences in just the structure and how to make things. So I would still stick around and watch if you are interested in making these or just interested in the process. But you're going to go through and fill in the corners and everything on this polished bottle, just like you did with the last one, and making sure it's all very much so stuck together and it's not going to be delicate or fall apart. And then after you have that done and you're kind of getting this all worked out and filled in on the corners, especially the corners, much like the one for the necklace, I'm going to round off those corners, but we're going to do that now with a hand file. Don't do an e-file for this. I know it's very tempting, especially if you're an e-file person, to just try to do it all with an e-file, but you're going to get much softer results with a hand file. And then after you have that done, you're going to be sculpting the neck of the bottle halfway around the straw, so not completely around it, because like I said, we're doing a half of a polished bottle this time. So just sculpt half of a neck, so half a circle around that. Once that can come off, you can pop it off the straw. It'll come right off so easy since it's just the half especially. And then you can glue that down onto one end of your polished bottle. Just hold that in place until the glue grabs. Then you're going to take some clear acrylic, and I know this is going to be a huge surprise to everybody, but you're going to be adding another layer to the neck of your polished bottle to secure it, add some strength, all of that stuff. And if you are familiar with my videos, you know I do this all the time. I just add some clear acrylic just to, just to add some added insurance. Then you're going to add a half circle sculpted onto the bottom of your little polished bottle for the foot, and then apply a layer of gel top coat to the inside of your little polished bottle. Cure it, scoop in a bit of glitter, whatever glitter you want, and then apply some nail glue around the outside, and then place down your little backing piece. Now, if there's no gaps in your backing piece, you would want to actually glue your little loopy wire thing in first. I know, very technical terms, right? Loopy wire thing. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes around here. And then you're going to glue another loopy wire thing into the neck of the bottle. So you have one coming out kind of the back corner, and then one coming out the front of the spout of the neck of the bottle, where the polish would be pouring out if this was actually a polished bottle that was spilling all over your neck. After you have that done, you're going to need to fill in all of the gaps with some more clear acrylic. As you are working on this, you're going to have to be very cautious not to tip the bottle where you might spill out some of your glitter, which obviously, if you spill glitter, it's not really the end of the world, unless you're my husband and then he has a little bit of a panic attack because it might touch him. And he has a phobia of glitter. As I'm sure you can imagine, that makes my line of work a little uncomfortable for him at times. But we're going to just be adding that little bit of clear acrylic to make sure that our glitter doesn't go anywhere and just secure the whole thing together. And now we get to sculpt our bottle brush. And so we're going to be doing this. This is almost identical to the last video. Almost. Not quite, but almost. But we're going to be doing the little clear part of the brush handle extender part, and then the cap of the bottle, polished bottle. I'm having my same word issues as I was with the last one. And then once you have that done, you're going to glue a piece of looped wire this time, you guys, not just a straight one, out of the end of that little polish brush handle thing, and then add in your thread and then cap that with some clear acrylic. One difference between this one and the last one is just like with the polished bottle, you don't have to make it 360. Leave the back of this flat, and then after you have that clear part done, then you can add a bit more to the black part of the cap, rounding it out, making it a little bit smooth, and adding in a looped wire. So add in your little loopy wire and then fill in the rest with the black. And then once you're finished sculpting, you can trim off the ends of your thread. So that's to make the brush nice and straight. Again, use a sharper scissors than the one that I have. I need to replace that thing desperately. Then after you have that done, we are going to be sketching our drips out on another piece of scrap paper. So just take and make a loose drippy shape, whatever kind of drip shape you are feeling. And then lay a nail form backing over the top of that, and then dip a bead of clear acrylic into the glitter mix that you filled your polished bottle with, and use that to sculpt your drips. Now, if you pick one that is as chunky of a glitter as mine is, while it looks absolutely amazing, it is a little bit trickier to sculpt with. So when you're doing that, you just have to keep that in mind, that you have to kind of work with it and baby it a little bit and push the glitter back in when it decides to escape, because it probably will. It likes to stick out where it doesn't belong. And you just have to kind of take your time with it and don't rush it, is basically what it boils down to. It's not that it can't be done. I mean, obviously it can be done. I did it. But you just have to know that it's going to be a little bit of a thorn in your side, and be willing to just take your time with it and do small sections at a time. So I've got all of this going all the way up and trying to fill in to the best of my ability to what my shape was underneath. It is not super easy to see your templates underneath. I don't know if anybody has ever drawn these before. It depends on the brand of nail form backing. Different companies, their nail form backings are slightly different. I don't think that should be a surprise. And some of them work better than others. And I find that there's some that acrylic pieces don't peel off of quite as easily as others. It's like the acrylic monomer erodes the waxy layer that's on the top of the nail form backing, or the shiny slippery layer, and it actually kind of seeps through it and sticks to the paper that's underneath that protective coating. And so it depends on the brand. I don't remember which one it was that I had problems with that was doing that, but it was like everything would stick, and that was no fun. So just if you have problems and your nail form backing doesn't work once, maybe just try a different brand if you can. So now we're going to string a little teardrop bead onto a piece of, it's called a head pin. It's a wire that has a little stopper on the end of it. And then you're going to create a loop on the end of that wire. So you're going to cut it off so it's just a slightly longer than your bead, and then loop that around. String a piece of chain over the wire. Crimp that down so that the loop is closed, and then hold that chain up, and on the other end of the chain you're going to be adding in one of your little loopy wires, closing the loop and setting that off to the side. Make 3. After you have those made, use your e-file to create little indents into your drippiness in 3 spots, fairly evenly spaced, so that you can glue your wires in, because you don't want the wire to be sticking out where it would be touching skin at all. You don't want any scratchy wires. So then after you have that done, you're going to glue one of those little dropped teardrop bead droopy chain things in place. You guys, you have no idea how tired I am. My words are just not reliable tonight. Oh goodness. So then you're going to glue in the next one, and then you're going to glue in the next one. So you have all of these glued in place. Once you have them all glued in place, you're going to take more clear acrylic, and you're going to be covering them up. Like I said, you do not want any wire to be where it could possibly scratch skin. Even if the clear acrylic creates a little bit of like a bulbous spot where it sticks up a little bit, that you won't ever feel on your skin, but the bit of wire might be irritating. You're going to create similar grooves on the sides, and you're going to be gluing in more of those little loopy wires. So you're going to glue one on each side of for the corners. That's where this part of the necklace will attach to the other parts of the necklace. Once you have that done, secure them in place with clear acrylic, and then you can attach everything together with little jump rings. So you're going to attach a jump ring for the polished bottle to be attached to the drips on one side, and then you're going to attach another jump ring on the polished bottle from the other side. That's where it will attach the chain that will go around the neck. Attach jump ring on the other side of your drips to stick your little brush on, and then you're going to do the same thing on the end of the brush for the chain coming out of it on the other side. So string your chain through. The chain that I'm using for this one is not the chain that I will be using for the videos in the future. This chain is a little bit too small where it was really hard to get my rings through it. So I'll be using one that is just ever so slightly looser of a loop in the chain so that I can work with it a little bit easier. Add another jump ring on the end of the necklace on the one side for where the lobster clip will, clip to. And then on the other side, you are going to need to actually add in your lobster clip. So you're going to go to the other side, add your jump ring, if you can catch the polish bottle at the jump ring, and then you're going to take and string on your piece of chain. Like I said, the future chains will be ever so slightly more cooperative. Close that jump ring up a little bit on the other end of your chain. And this is jewelry making techniques more than nails, but it is still something that if you plan to make one, you'll need to do. Then add your little lobster clip. And all of these jewelry making supplies, the chain, the wires that I'm using, the clips, etc., are all available at a store like Michael's or Joann's has a huge jewelry making section. Hobby Lobby is one of my personal favorites. They have some stuff that other places don't. These are things that you can definitely get at all these places. Otherwise, Amazon. If you look up jewelry making supplies, you can get little kits that have all of these things in them together, and they aren't really that expensive if it's something that you may enjoy doing and make other jewelry for yourself. So then after you have this done, same exact process as with the polished bottle earrings, we're going to be painting a little logo on the front. Now, I do want to mention that if you are sending me a logo that you want to do, and it's a really big, intense logo, and it's got one element of it that you like the best, and you want that to be the focus of it so that you can actually see what the logo is, so it's not just so small. Because I know there are some salon logos that their whole logo is huge. It's got names of people and city, and it's a beautiful but very large logo. You may want to bring it down a little bit, and that's something that you would need to tell me. So if you are thinking about doing this and you have a logo that I'm describing, just consider what you might want to do on the little polish bottles that would represent your business or your personal art, and cut out some other things that may be less necessary, because this is a really small space. If you look, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So just envision your logo on a thumbnail, and if you can't read it because it's too small, then that might be a time to revisit it, if that makes sense. Fill in all the logos, all the bits that you're doing, apply a layer of gel top coat over the whole thing, and then after that is fully top coated, cure it. And then after that's cured, then you're going to apply some top coat over the drips so that they are super duper shiny, and look how beautiful that glitter looks in there. Once that is done, then you can cure that, and then you're going to be applying your gel top coat over the bottle brush. Again, once that's done, cure one final time, and that is it. This necklace is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm going to be wearing it all the time now that I have it, because it so represents what I do. It's got polish and glitter and my little zebra. And I'd be so happy to share these with you if you are interested in ordering them. Like I mentioned already, there is a link in the description box to where I have them for sale on my online store. There isn't an option on there for international sales, but I do them. It's just an shipping upcharge, and just contact me through my email to get that ordered, and there's no problem. And I will see you next time. Bye.